guys, this is Joe Askins from YoChicago.com and NewHomeNotebook.com. Standing at the corner of where we Clark and Superior. We're taking a look at Superior 110, and I'm here with some guys who know this building rather well. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
I'm Tom Hook from HBA.
Hello, Alessandro.
And you guys work with the firm that designed this building.
We do.
So what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of take a look around at some of your recent projects and get some of the background on some of these newer towers from an architect's perspective.
Well, in this particular building we started about 2 years ago, and it's a really tight site. It's only about 80 feet wide, and it has a lot of limitations with parking and just getting all the program in with all the setbacks and codes. So one of the things we looked at doing is separating the building into two components. Kind of a plinth, which is kind of that really simple cube part on the bottom, and then the oval shape on top. And kind of what drove that shape mainly was, we wanted to do some really interesting large corner units in the building, and this way we can get essentially 360-degree views from almost all the units, outside either the balcony or outside the living room walls, window walls. And then we just started to take that idea and sculpt it a little bit, and that's where that kind of vertical piece came in, that separates the quadrants, which are units. Each quadrant is a unit. On some floors they're full floor units, on some they're half units front and back. So that was one of the main drivers, is just really the program, and we wanted to do a really simple, clean form, and just do a minimalistic type facade treatment. So that's where that glass type came in. It's a butt glazed system essentially. There's no exposed vertical or horizontal mullions. We did accentuate the slab edge with the metal slab edge covers, as you see. And that's kind of what drove that. The balconies are on most of the units that project out from the living space. And one of the interesting things that we wanted to do too is just not articulate it on the facade on the wide sides, but on the narrow side you can see how we brought the entire volume down and how it intersects with the garage base. We thought that was important to just show how those two forms intersected together.
All right. I remember back when this was under construction, the glass started going in, a lot of people were surprised just how deep blue the building was looking, especially compared to some of the original renderings. Was this always intended as the glass type? Were you sure what it was going to look like until it started going in?
I mean, that's always like a really big issue with architecture in general. We look at samples, and we look at, we have an idea in our head, we put together a rendering, we put together a color palette, and we all decided blue would be the most appropriate, just because we wanted the building at first we wanted the building to kind of disappear against the sky a little bit. And then as we started looking at glass samples, different colors, and putting it all together, we realized that it'd be interesting to do something that really popped against the rest of the beige that was around this neighborhood. Every other building around here they're very traditional buildings, brick and some stucco, and mostly stucco around here, some painted concrete. So we wanted to do something that was a little bit more interesting and something that would stand out for many years to come. And I think we went with the right color. A lot of people, it's kind of one of those things, you either love it or you hate it, I think. Some people love it. It has an iridescent quality, depending on how the light hits it. Some people just don't understand it at all, and they're why is it so blue? And it's understandable, but I think we went with the right color palette, and we're really happy with it. So, there were challenges in getting the whole thing to work, but I think in the end the form kind of allowed us to mix the units and do a couple different things with just different unit mixes.
And then once construction began, how involved does your firm stay throughout the construction process and things like that? Is there a point at which you just sort of hand everything over and walk away from it?
Oh, no, we're actually still, to this date, we're still doing a couple unit wrap-ups with the client. But, you know, we want to see, especially projects like this, they're really kind of near and dear to us. They're very special. We don't get these types of projects often where we can kind of throw our heart into it. And, you know, we stay involved as much as possible through construction. You know, even after construction, if there's unit owners that want us to look at their unit and design it for them and make recommendations, and there's some maintenance things that we get involved in, so we try to stay involved as much as possible.